me from last session, my family owns and operates Maine's only privately held corrugated box company in Biddeford, Maine. Volk Packaging is a proud, third-generation, family-owned business, and our company has never paid minimum wage. There are 75 employees, and the pay for unskilled workers begins at $13 an hour. Wage increases after that are based on longevity and performance and advancement. Our employees do not have their wages indexed to feel appreciated. Why do I tell you about Volk Packaging if we do not pay minimum wage? I believe this is a model that most businesses in Maine admire and would aspire to. Employers benefit when they have experienced employees they can count on and trust. Years ago, my husband had a customer in Waldo County with a small manufacturing business. One day he was complaining to my husband about his inability to keep workers, and he happened to ask, well, how much do you pay them? And this business owner replied that he actually did pay minimum wage. And my husband quickly said, well, no wonder you can't keep workers. As soon as something better comes along, they're going to be out the door. Hold that thought. Most employers who start at minimum wage will either most employees who start at minimum wage will either quickly advance beyond that once they've proven their value to their employer, or they will gain experience for a short time before moving on to an employer who will value their time. Essentially, someone who doesn't say, I value you so much that if I could legally pay you less, I would. Either way, market forces determine who gets paid what and when they deserve to be paid more. Training workers is expensive because it's time-consuming. So in order to attract and keep good workers, businesses will invest in their employees by rewarding them with pay increases whenever possible. But businesses still have to be competitive. When labor costs go up, employers choose between increasing prices or finding a way to cut costs. I've spoken to 2 ice cream shop owners who do pay minimum wage to their summer help. These are very small business owners and seasonal business owners. Though the official pay is minimum wage, they both said that they reward good workers, mostly high school and college students. Actually, they both said exclusively high school and college students, who come back year after year. And if they stay the entire season, they receive a nice bonus at the end. Both said that if they had to pay more, they would choose between increasing their prices or giving their employees, not being able to offer their employees those end-of-season bonuses. Removing a reward for hard work that helps create a strong work ethic in a future adult employee. Studies bear this out. In fact, data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Census Bureau show that minimum wage earners are young, part-time workers, and that relatively few of them live below the poverty line. In fact, their average family income is $53,000 a year. A few other national statistics about minimum wage earners, since we have not had time to glean accurate Maine data. 79% work part-time jobs. 62% are actually enrolled in school during non-summer months. Only 22% live at or below the poverty line. Most have not finished their education. A third have not yet finished high school, while almost a quarter have only a high school degree. Another 2/5 have taken college courses but have not yet graduated. Only 3% of minimum wage workers have finished college and obtained a degree. So what about minimum wage workers? Adults who earn minimum wage are less likely to live in middle and upper income families than are teenagers and young adults who earn the minimum wage. Nonetheless, 3/4 of older workers earning minimum wage live above the poverty line. They have an average family income of over $42,000 a year. Most of them choose to work part-time, and many are married. The average older minimum wage earner simply does not fit the stereotype of a worker living on the edge of destitution. In fact, over half work part-time jobs. They have an average family income of over $40,000 a year. Less than a quarter live in poverty. And just 4% of minimum wage workers are single parents working full-time. higher minimum wages do not address the main reason that most poor families live below the poverty line. Contrary to what many assume, and the testimony you're likely going to be hearing this morning, low wages are not their primary problem, because most poor Americans do not work for minimum wage. The problem is that most poor Americans do not work at all. 2/3 of people living below the poverty line do not work, and less than 10% work full-time year-round. Making it more expensive to hire inexperienced workers leads businesses to hire fewer of them. This makes it harder for low-income families to gain experience and skills necessary to actually rise out of poverty. Most of the benefits from raising the minimum wage, therefore, go to families who are well above poverty. These benefits will come at the cost of reducing the availability of experienced, rich, entry-level jobs and reducing opportunities for the next generation to learn the value of and satisfaction that comes with earning a paycheck. Less experience makes it harder for workers to become more productive and earn higher wages. Unsurprisingly, researchers find that higher minimum wages do not reduce poverty. So what of the small manufacturer in Waldo County that I referenced earlier? He was paying minimum wage. He went out of business. Meanwhile, in Biddeford, Volk Packaging's average hourly employee has been with the company for 14 years and now earns 2.5 times minimum wage plus benefits. 2 companies hiring similarly skilled workers with very different outcomes. Thank you.